Dear artists, hello and welcome to this behind the scenes how-to of how to make a Bunraku-style puppet head. My name is Jeffrey Moser, and let's just jump right to it. You're going to need a lot of supplies for this, so let's walk through those first. First, you're going to need a 3/4 inch or 1 inch dowel about 8 to 12 inches in length, as well as some masking tape, probably a good deal of that, as well as 5 or 6 pages of newspaper. Don't use your favorite section. You're probably going to need a lot of that. For part 2, you're going to need wood glue, as well as some water, a pencil or something with a dull pointy edge like a chopstick, something that you don't mind getting mucky. So you could use a pen that is no longer of use, and so you're going to get that something that you can get into a lot of crevices with. That's the point of this tool, as well as something that you can mix all the water and glue solution together with inside of, as well as a mixing bowl that you can rinse your fingers off or take any excess glue off if necessary. Finally, in step 2, you're going to need a paper bag, a good amount of it. For part 3, you're going to need paint brushes, whatever paint you have, acrylic or tempera paint, whatever you've got handy, as well as a paint tray. I'll be using this egg carton with lots of experience. And then you're going to see me use a tool that you don't necessarily need, but this is an oatmeal jar full of pea gravel that I've cut an X in the top, and then I can plunge the dowel inside of so that I can sculpt my head a little bit better, hands-free. And you'll see why this comes in handy, but you do not necessarily need it. While you gather all of those things, let me tell you a little bit about what we're doing. Bunraku is a traditional form of Japanese puppetry in which a human figure is manipulated by 3 puppeteers. It is an apprenticeship, so after 10 years of manipulating the feet, you may graduate to operating the left hand. After operating the left hand for 10 years, you may graduate to operating the head and the right hand. But today, we're going to skip about 20 years worth of traditional Japanese puppetry training and go right to the head. I learned how to make these puppets with Tom Lee, who was a puppeteer on War Horse, and he did train in Japan on the process, and he works with Blair Thomas and Company, as well as with Looking Glass Theater in Chicago and other places across the country. It's with him that I got to make this character right here that we created for an adaptation. The head plunges down on the dowel inside of something that looks like a cage. And that cage is actually the body and can be costumed. But for the purposes of this and what we'll be doing today, you can use your favorite hoodie to create your character right here. So let's get started. First, we're going to begin by taking our dowel and taking some newspaper, and we're just going to crumple this right over the very top, just like this. Don't be precious. If you have an idea of something that you want to make, great. I'm going to just kind of freeform it today and kind of watch my puppet grow and decide what my puppet exactly wants to be. So I'm going to go that route. As you do this, try to keep it tight and be sure to tape it all together. So you're going to take a piece of masking tape, tape that together, and be sure to tape that down to the dowel as well. If you don't tape from here to the dowel, your whole head can just pop right off. So I'm just going to keep adding and adding and adding until I've got something that is about the size of my fist, maybe a little bit bigger. It's at this point that I take a minute and take a look at the head and try to decide, do I see any features that I sort of want to augment, make bigger, pull back? Do I see any ears or noses or cheeks or chins? I don't know quite what I see. Maybe I see some sort of nose or something round right here, right? What's funny about this is this is an additive process. And unlike sculpture where you have to carve away and sort of know where you're going, you can kind of invent where you're going. And if you don't like what you're doing, pop it right back off. like I'm making a little bit of a dinosaur puppet, and I wasn't expecting that. But what I realized was I really fell in love with it, and I started going. So really, for me, the rule for making puppets, if I'm not set out to make one particular character, is just follow the fun. Day 2, roll up your sleeves. You're going to need to do it. First thing you want to do is grab that paper bag that you were using, and I want you to rip one side, ideally the side with one of the handles, if that's the broad side. Rip that part out as well as the bottom. You're going to lay this out like a placemat because you're probably going to use it like one. And then you're going to take this, and I want you to really crumple it up. I mean, crumple it up until it's not stiff, so that it feels not so much like a paper bag, but more like fabric. I've got some that I've pre-crumpled here. You can really see the wrinkles in the line, so I've given a whole lot of crunching down and then undoing it and crunching it down again. Once you're done with that, I want you to rip it into a whole bunch of pieces, maybe the size of a thumbnail, give or take. You do want some big pieces, you do want some small pieces. Next thing you want to do is go get yourself that water, so a little mixing bowl that you can clean your hands with. Then you're going to mix your wood glue solution, 2 parts wood glue, 1 part water, mix it all up. So you can start to lay your puppet out and just start putting getting the glue solution on there, and then just placing it right on. You're going to sort of smooth it out. Turn your cell phone off, don't touch your glasses, and say goodbye to petting your dog. You're going to be doing this for about an hour, give or take, depending on how complicated your puppet is. Next day, your puppet has had a chance to dry. Sometimes it takes a full 24 hours, sometimes a little bit less. But here they are. Look at that. And they should be pretty firm. If you are happy with this and you love your puppet as they are, great. Great. Congratulations. You don't have to continue with the painting. But I'm going to go ahead and paint this. And that's it. You can always paint over or make adjustments. I might go back and change up our smile a little bit, but I wanted to follow the curvature of my creature's beak. And also I didn't have any black paint, so I might go back and make some nostrils a little later on. Regardless of where you are, congratulations, you've brought a new puppet into the world. If you do complete your own, please share it with us at Milwaukee Rep. Send your images to athome@milwaukeerep.com. But now, if you don't mind, I've got a few more to finish up. Thanks for watching.
Hello, puppet.
I can't wait to see you.
I can't wait to see you.